Good afternoon. My name is David Telford. I am the Director of Information Services at the University of Stirling. I'm still quite new there. I'm glad I got that right. So, welcome. Welcome to USISA 19 and welcome to Edinburgh. It's particularly pertinent for me. My other role, of course, is Chair of USISA, and I get to do the nice bit, which is simply to welcome you here and to say welcome to my hometown. For those of you that this is your first time, you should take a moment and try and wander down to the centre of the city. It's definitely worth seeing, and the castle is fabulous, and we'll try and make the sun shine for you a bit later on today, okay? That's quite a challenge in Edinburgh, but nevertheless. So a very warm welcome. It is particularly pertinent for me because this is my last year as Chair of USISA, and in fact, from tomorrow, I am the ex-Chair of USISA. And so it's a pleasure to welcome you to Edinburgh, and I hope you're going to have a fantastic few days. The programme looks amazing. I'm going to hand over to Sally Bogg in a few minutes, and she'll take you through the programme for the day. But I would like to mention a couple of things. One item that's on the programme is at 12 o'clock tomorrow is the AGM, and I would like you to try and make an effort to make it along if you can. It's in this room. It is in this room, isn't it, Peter? Yes, it is. Thank you. It's in this room. And I will warn you that the first section is fairly formal business, and I do have to work through that to ensure that we tie up all the necessary formal arrangements from the charitable organisation's perspective. But there's also, following that, an update on the direction of travel and the things that we're achieving and the things that we're finding challenging. So I think you'll find it a useful event. So if you can, come along tomorrow at 12 o'clock into this room. I did say this was my last year, and so I want to just reflect on a couple of things. The first one is, and it's quite appropriate, that I acknowledge the support of our vendors and exhibitors and our sponsors for this event. All their names are listed on the banner here, and their logos, etc., are in the programme. Without them, our event can't be at the scale and to the quality that we can achieve. So I would like to thank them very much. And I'd also like to comment that over the last few years, I've seen both USISA and its membership, and we are USISA, we are the membership. I've seen the relationship evolve and grow, and the engagement between the vendors and suppliers of products and services to our sector, which of course we recognise as a value because it's in excess of 1.3 billion, so the spend is not insignificant. But what I've enjoyed is the higher levels of engagement, the listening to the customers, and the focus on all of us trying to do what's right for the sector. So thank you to our sponsors and our exhibitors for this conference, and to those corporate members who support USISA throughout the year. I'd like to also just reflect a moment on the structure of USISA. I'm going to start where I started from 3 years ago when I first came in as chair. Often, and I'm calling it out again, so forgive me, but USISA is not some sort of organisation that lives over here or is even based in Oxford, where our small numbers of staff are, who do a fantastic job of supporting us with all that we try and achieve. We are USISA. And the USISA has a number of special interest groups that are supported by volunteers from up and down the sector. And I make no apologies for calling that out, because I think it's really important that we all recognise that much of what's achieved on behalf of the sector is by the sector. So it is an organisation run by its membership for the membership. And on the special interest groups, which range from corporate information systems to programme and project management and change management to digital education, the breadth is extraordinary. In all those areas where IT has an interest, we have over 60 universities represented on those groups. And importantly for me, the value to the sector is enormous, but the value to them and their institutions is also important. Being involved in USISA takes benefit back to the institutions, because what happens is, one of the things that we don't often talk about at a conference like this is not just all the presentations and the sessions that we all attend that are useful to all of us in different guises, But it's that time when you sit with colleagues and go, I'm facing this problem and I'm not quite sure how to address it. And what you get is a fantastic collaborative response. It's not the same in other sectors. It is unique to this. And people coming into this sector from the outside are often bemused by it. But in order to fulfill the ethos of education, that is the support of our students in the student journey and the research that our universities are involved in, it's about collaboration. And it's about working together to make that journey and that delivery of the educational experience and the research experience as successful as it possibly can be. I think I'm preaching to a converted audience here. We think that because of digital and digital transformation and the future of IT, that we're at the heart of that success going forward. And if we agree that, I would continue to argue that us working together is what really makes it a success for the future. The last item I'm going to mention just before I hand over to Sally is something that I've been passionate about for many years, which is the diversity of our sector. And I'm using diversity in its wider sense. It's not just the gender diversity that we're looking for, it's that wider diversity that I think we all need to embrace. And we all need to continue to recognise that in IT, the diversity is a challenge. And we see that from the STEM subjects that are taking place in education and the struggle to get a diverse cohort into those subject areas. I often feel quite embarrassed with the fact that here's the old, white, grey-haired guy on the stage shouting about diversity, so I'll leave the detail of it to Sally. But USISA is trying to play an important role in diversity, and there are a number of events that are taking place here and within the special interest groups with diversity champions and women in tech that are really important, and I would ask you as the membership to support them wherever you possibly can. So, that's all from me. Thank you very much. I hope I see you at the AGM tomorrow. Have a fantastic conference, and I'll now hand over to Sally Bogg, who's going to take us through what's going to happen over the next few days. Thank you.
So hello, I can't say just how much a pleasure and a privilege it is to be hosting and chairing this year's conference. So I first attended this event back in 2014 when I was service desk manager at the University of Leeds. Never did I believe that in just 5 years I would be back as chair of this conference, but that is the power of the USISA community. This organisation has played such an important and transformational role in my development and has had a transformational impact on my career, as it will have had for many of you here today. And I think it's important that we recognise the impact that USISA has, not just at an institutional level, but also at an individual level. I'm really proud to once again be supporting the annual bursary scheme. This USISA scheme aims to give people the opportunity to attend conferences and events that they maybe wouldn't get to in their day job. The scheme is in its 5th year now. It's been an absolute resounding success. We've had over 60 members attend conferences right across the world. So would encourage you to kind of promote that within your organisations. Again, I'd like to welcome our sponsors and thank them for their support. Without their contribution, we wouldn't be able to put on such fantastic events. But they aren't just here to provide sponsorship. They are here because they want to engage with our sector. So I would encourage you all to take the time and start those conversations and start to build up those strategic partnerships. Now, this is an exciting time for the tech industry. The new wave of technology that's coming is very likely to have an impact on our sector. In fact, just last week, I was reading about the University of Lancaster and their Ask LU service that's placed Amazon Echoes in the student accommodation. We've also got Staffordshire's Beacon chatbot and, of course, our very own Leeds Beckett chatbot, Becky, that we actually use to support our confirmation and clearing programme. I think we can expect to see several more use cases of AI and chatbot over the coming months. However, as this industry sees more automation, more AI, more VR, then there's going to be a decrease in the amount of personal interactions. Therefore, when our users do need to speak directly to people, they're going to expect and demand that higher quality of contact and experience. This means that the new wave of automation is actually an opportunity for us to refocus on the key skills that are required to deliver great technology services, things that no robot and no computer could do. The service desk is going to continue to play a key role in this, and it's time for us to recognise the value of the human contribution. As important as the technology is, a great service will always need great people. So when putting together this year's programme, we've tried to find a good balance, looking forwards and horizon scanning to help understand what this new wave of tech could mean for our sector, but also thinking how we can attract, retain and develop our most valuable asset, our people. So some of you may already know, but I'm a passionate supporter of the enhancement and empowerment of women in technology. Women have been responsible for some of the greatest technical advances and inventions in the modern age, and yet we continue to be massively underrepresented within the industry. Women hold less than 20% of technical roles in software companies, make up only 18% of computer science graduates, and only 16% of tech startups are founded by women. When 60% of the UK graduates are women, this is a shocking waste of our talent, and I suspect that these figures might be even lower within our sector. When technology is everywhere and is used by everybody, then surely everybody should be involved in its development. And we have a responsibility to ensure that our diverse student population is represented when we are developing and delivering technology services. Now, many of us in the room will have been directly impacted by the digital skills shortage. Currently, 72% of large organisations and 49% of small to medium enterprises are suffering a technical skills gap. There is a clear mismatch between the skills we need and those that the workforce has to offer. And when we have such a booming tech sector in the UK, we have to question why this is. My view, IT has a massive, massive image problem. There is a lack of an awareness of the huge range of career opportunities within technology. We're struggling with gender stereotypes, and we need to do a lot of work to demonstrate that this is an exciting and interesting sector to work in. And this is not just a gender issue. Recognising the value of a much wider pool of people from all backgrounds, ethnicities, gender, religion, race, age could actually help us address the digital skills shortage. But if we really want to attract a more diverse workforce, then we need to reach a wider audience and really rethink our approach to recruitment. With this in mind, and in response to your feedback, we've added a diversity inclusion briefing to the programme. This breakfast briefing is being sponsored by Oracle and will take place in Edinburgh Suite in this hotel, in the Sheraton Hotel at 8 AM tomorrow. So if you are interested, I would recommend you sign up. We also have a panel session which will provide us with the opportunity to explore some of the challenges in recruiting tech roles and gain insights into what's being done outside of the sector. This is also an opportunity to give a shout out to the newly formed USISA Women in Technology group. This is being chaired by Lynn Newbit and Carla Thornley. Both of them are here today, so if you're interested in finding more about this and what the work they're doing, I'd suggest you seek them out. Based on your feedback last year as well, you told us that you wanted the opportunity to meet with peers to discuss matters of common interest. So we've set some time aside on the conference agenda to do just that with our roundtable discussions. Please let the team on the registration desk know what your hot topic is by 2 PM tomorrow, and we'll be able to signpost you to your table. We've currently got a London table and a one for Scotland, but just a reminder, they don't have to be region-based, so we would welcome other suggestions. We've also added a new kind of session focused on leadership stories. You told us you wanted to hear from successful people, so we've put together a short leadership story section that we hope will inspire you and get you to think differently about your leadership. And then finally on Friday, we close with Michelle Dickinson, an inspiring speaker who is a leading advocate for science and technology. Now, there is no doubt that we are facing challenging times within the higher education sector. We've got fierce global competition, potential changes to student fees, increased student expectations, facing increased costs and changes and challenges to our research funding, to name but a few. And let's be honest, it's still not clear what the impact of Brexit will mean for the UK universities. But regardless of what is going on around us, and no matter what new shiny technology comes our way, we need to keep focused, we need to keep improving, and most of all, we need to keep it human. I hope you all have a really great conference. Just a couple of housekeeping bits. If you do have any issues or concerns, then please speak to the team on the registration desk. They are here to support you. And also do take the opportunity to engage on social media, particularly Twitter. Just a reminder that the hashtag is USizer19. And that brings me on to our first speaker. We all know that leading an institution is challenging. We need to get students in. We need to respond to league tables. We need to be seen to be performing. With that in mind, few will be brave enough to tear up the rule book and start from scratch. And few will define their institution's pedagogical approach and build a campus to reflect and deliver to that mission. But Nick Petford, the Vice-Chancellor at the University of Northampton, is challenging the status quo. How should our institutions respond then? Should we be thinking along the same lines? So I'd like to welcome to the stage our opening keynote, the Vice-Chancellor of the University of Northampton, Nick Petford.